Like, nah, it's not going to be that easy. So will Caitlin Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now immediately? Absolutely not. Not going to happen.
Okay. Not on the right team.
Can you believe Sheryl Swoopes made herself the bad guy to a player who is not even half her age? And all this happened after just one season in the WNBA? But how? And why? What makes a Hall of Famer hurt her own name just because a new player is getting more attention? It's not just strange, it's really embarrassing. Now Sheryl Swoopes has lost her job, feels ashamed, and is watching other WNBA players stand with the same star she didn't like, Caitlin Clark. But wait, it gets even worse. A'ja Wilson, who is supposed to be the new big star of the WNBA, is really upset about all this drama. And now Sydney Colson just shared a big secret about her time with the Las Vegas Aces. Get ready, because we're about to explain everything. Sheryl Swoopes didn't just say bad things about Caitlin Clark, she made it her goal to bring her down. She kept making rude comments, saying Clark wasn't special, and even rolling her eyes when Clark broke records. But why? Why would a three-time MVP and a legend in women's basketball spend so much time hating a 22-year-old rookie? It's not like Clark was rude to her. It's not like Clark said, "I'm better than Swoopes." No, Caitlin Clark just played her game and worked hard. But somehow, that was enough to make a great player feel jealous, and that's where everything started to fall apart. People saw what was happening, the fans saw it, the media saw it, and the players saw it too. Suddenly, Sheryl Swoopes wasn't the legend helping others. She was the older player trying to keep the new star down. And let's be honest, no one likes that. For a while, the older WNBA players stood their ground. They didn't want to accept Caitlin Clark and treated her like she was just another good player. But then everything started to change. The money changed, more people started watching, and big companies wanted her for ads. Caitlin Clark wasn't just good, she was the best. She filled arenas and she made the WNBA more popular than ever before. And that's when WNBA players started choosing sides. Some players who had stayed quiet for months finally started standing up for Caitlin Clark. A few, like Angel Reese, kept the rivalry going, but others spoke out, and just like that, Sheryl Swoopes was left all alone. In the end, WNBA players wanted to be on the winning side of history, but Sheryl, she ended up on the wrong side. This isn't the first time Sheryl Swoopes lost her job. Before she became the biggest Caitlin Clark hater, she was already known for something even worse. People didn't just dislike her, she wasn't just unpopular, she was kicked out of her own job for being mean and creating a bad environment. Let's take a little trip back in time. In 2016, Sheryl Swoopes wasn't just a retired WNBA star, she was the head coach of the Loyola University Chicago women's basketball team. It was a big job, a respected role, and a chance to help young players grow. But what did she do? She turned the team into a mess. Instead of coaching, she bullied. Instead of leading, she hurt players with her words. Instead of building a strong team, she made them fight against each other. Things got so bad that players started quitting just to get away from it all. But it didn't stop there. The players didn't just quit. They spoke up. They told everyone how Swoopes treated them. She didn't just yell, she insulted them and made teammates turn against each other. One player said Swoopes made fun of players for their personal problems. Another said she created a place full of fear. When people started looking into it, it was clear Loyola had no choice. She was kicked out of college basketball for good because of how badly she treated her team. You'd think Sheryl Swoopes would learn her lesson, right? Nope. Instead, she stayed angry and started going after Caitlin Clark. She used to be a role model for young girls, but now she became one of the most jealous people in the WNBA. And guess what? She's out again this time, not just from a job, but from the WNBA community itself. Players don't support her, fans have lost all respect, and her legacy is ruined. And for what? Just because she didn't like a 22-year-old rookie who was really good at basketball. Sheryl Swoopes was a legend. Now she's a warning. She had a choice. She could have been a mentor, a leader, someone who helped the next generation, but instead, she chose anger, jealousy, and negativity. And guess what? The world moved on without her. Caitlin Clark is still becoming a bigger star. WNBA players are standing with her, and Sheryl Swoopes, she's lost her job again. So tell me, was it worth it, Sheryl? Now, if Sheryl Swoopes facing the truth wasn't enough, we have to talk about A'ja Wilson's big reaction and the huge news Sydney Colson just shared. A'ja Wilson has been the biggest name in the WNBA for years. She's won 2 MVP awards, won championships, and been a star. But now, she's not the biggest star anymore. And guess what? That's a big problem. Caitlin Clark's arrival took all the attention, the MVP talks, and the big sponsorships away from A'ja Wilson. It doesn't matter that A'ja is an amazing player. What matters is that everyone is talking about Caitlin Clark. And behind the scenes, A'ja's frustration is only getting worse. Then comes Sydney Colson, A'ja's former teammate, with nothing to lose, and she doesn't hold back. She posts a mysterious message on social media. People don't know the half of it. Some folks are mad at Caitlin when the real problem is in their own locker room. Wait, what? Colson just hinted that all this anger toward Caitlin Clark is really hiding bigger problems inside the WNBA. And now everyone wants answers. Sheryl Swoopes took a big risk, and she lost. She thought bringing down a young star would make her important again, but instead she lost her respect, her credibility, and now her job. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is doing better than ever. The league is doing everything to support her. The money is pouring in, the fans are growing, and the players who once stayed quiet, now they're choosing Caitlin. A'ja Wilson? She's really upset. Sydney Colson? She's telling secrets. And the WNBA? It's more chaotic than ever. Think about it, spending months saying a rookie is bad for the league, claiming she's hurting teams, only to see top players leave just to play with her. That's the wake-up call Sheryl Swoopes just got, loud and clear. Because Sydney Colson, a respected veteran, didn't just leave her team for any reason. She left to team up with Caitlin Clark and go after championships. And just like that, Sheryl Swoopes' whole argument about Caitlin Clark pushing players away from the Indiana Fever is completely destroyed. From the very start, Swoopes has been on a mission to bring Caitlin Clark down. Her biggest claim, that Caitlin is stopping good players from joining Indiana. That no one wants to play with her because she's too good. She said this like it was a fact. Like WNBA players are too jealous to share the court with a superstar. But guess what? That wasn't true. If that were true, then why is Sydney Colson running toward Caitlin Clark instead of away from her? Sydney Colson had plenty of choices. She's a veteran, a trusted teammate, and a strong leader in the locker room. But she still chose to leave the Las Vegas Aces just to play with Caitlin Clark. Think about that. She walked away from A'ja Wilson, Chelsea Gray, and Kelsey Plum, all top players in the WNBA, to join a rookie-led Indiana Fever team. And why? Because she sees something special. She knows Caitlin Clark isn't just media hype, she's a real leader, someone who can win championships. And now, Colson wants to be part of it. That's the complete opposite of what Sheryl Swoopes said would happen. Instead of players staying far away, they're lining up to join the movement. Let's be real, Sheryl Swoopes just took another big loss. She spent months telling herself that Caitlin Clark was the problem, that no one would want to play with her, that she would ruin team chemistry, and then boom, Sydney Colson left a championship team just to play with Caitlin. That's not just a loss, that's a total knockout. Now nobody is paying attention to Sheryl Swoopes anymore. People don't trust what she says, her words don't matter, and her legacy is broken. She spent all this time fighting against Caitlin Clark, when she could have been cheering her on, and now she's stuck on the outside, watching Caitlin Clark build something great while her own influence disappears. Sydney Colson didn't just switch teams, she sent a message to the whole WNBA. Caitlin Clark is the future. And for Sheryl Swoopes, it's just another tough reminder that the league has moved on without her. So tell me, Cheryl, was all that hate really worth it? Because right now, it looks like Caitlin Clark is winning both on and off the court. Let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more WNBA news and drama. See you in the next one.